Okay, we back with another Super Gene video. And in today's video, I got something special for y'all. But first things first, if you're new to my channel or for some odd reason you're just not subscribed, and I don't know why you wouldn't be subscribed to me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you don't miss a upload from you both. And make sure you guys hit that like button and make sure you guys comment down below, because y'all know I know your boy love talking to y'all in the comment section, okay? But today we got a review for Super Gene chapter 1 through 3 of the light novel. I read the light novel earlier, so there's a video that dropped right before this video that you guys should go check out, because I read chapters 1 through 3 and it was a great read, and this is a great story. I want to give a special shout out to WebNovel.com for allowing me to read this light novel for you guys on my channel. Make sure you guys go to the link in the description to go read Super Gene on your own on WebNovel.com. And if you like to use your cell phone, if you have an iOS or an Android, link is in the description to download the app. So make sure you guys head over to WebNovel so you guys can support the author and you guys can read the official translations over there. But enough of that. We got this review. Now, the story of Super Gene is a very good series. There's about 3.6K chapters in this story all in all. I believe right now Webtoon has about 2,900 plus chapters. So you got plenty to read. And I advise you to read all of it because it is one of the greatest, if not the greatest story I've ever read. Now, starting off from chapter 1, we learn that our main character's name is Han-Sen. Now, Han-Sen is a 16-year-old boy. Well, first off, we need to talk about where he's at and where did this take place. So it's a little bit in the future. The human race has developed enough technology to be able to teleport. But instead of teleporting to the past or the future, they teleport to a different dimension in whole. Now, the good thing about this dimension is they found out a way to enhance their bodies and thus allow them to live longer. That's mankind's biggest enemy is time. But the only problem is humans are now at the bottom of the food chain because there is a plethora of different monsters, creatures that can 100% kill you instantly. Now, the basis of the story is there's 4 different types of geno points that you can acquire. Ordinary, primitive, sacred, and mutant. Not in the same order because I know sacred is last. But the more you get by killing creatures of that specific type, the more that you get, the stronger your body becomes. And you can eventually get to a point where you can actually evolve into something even stronger. You just have to gain access to 100 of those points. Now, if I get 100 ordinary geno points, I'm able to evolve, but my evolved state isn't the strongest. Now, if I get maxed out on every single category of geno points, so I have 100 of ordinary, 100 of primitive, 100 of mutant, and 100 of sacred, then my evolution process is at the most strongest that it can be. And that goes for the other areas. But right now we're in this one area. And luckily, the first God sanctuary, which the area is called, they allow, when you first get there, you actually get housing, okay? And no one knows why this housing is there. It's just there. So you get housing, right? So everyone has their own room. Now, for the other sanctuaries, I don't believe that you get the houses. It doesn't work that way. You're on your own at that point. But in this beginner one, you do. So this story is about our main character named Han-Sen, which has nothing. He grew up with nothing. He has a family, of course, his mom, his sister, and his dad. But his dad is dead from what they tell us right now. He's dead. He's gone. He doesn't even know what happened to him, okay? But we find out that Han-Sen is struggling in the first God sanctuary. He cannot get nothing. All he's been killing is these regular black beetles, but these beetles have stopped giving him geno points because he's already consumed too many. So if you consume too many of one specific creature, you no longer get geno points for that specific creature. So at this point, Han-Sen is just living. There's nothing he can do. And I believe he has about 79 ordinary geno points, which is okay, but it's really not doing anything for his body. But he does have a 200-year lifespan currently, which is way longer than any normal human could have. But you can also learn a lot of martial arts techniques that work very good out here in God's sanctuary. The only thing that doesn't work is modern weapons and technology. So they can't use any technology, no science, nothing out here, because none of the stuff works. So they have to just go back to the primitive days. With steel weapons, swords, spears, those work very good, arrows. But the one thing that actually saves our boy Hansen is the fact that he finds another black beetle. But this isn't just some ordinary black beetle. It's a sacred blood black beetle. It's all gold. So obviously Hansen goes to attack. He knows how to kill these things like the back of his hand. He's killed so many of these black beetles. So he ends up killing it and he starts to eat the meat. And he notices that he gains sacred geno points. And this actually makes his body way stronger. But not even that. He actually gains a beast soul. And a beast soul you gain from killing a creature. And you actually have a very small chance of gaining a beast soul from killing the creature. So Hansen actually got very lucky. Luck was on his side right here. So he gains the beast soul, and it just so happens to be a full armor beast soul. So he's able to wrap himself up in the beetle's beast soul. So it wraps around his whole body, giving him a golden armor. And no one can see his face. And that's actually good. Because sometimes you don't want people to know who you are or what you have. Because then you get people that are haters and they try and come kill you themselves and take whatever you have. So you really don't want to disclose your identity all the time. So after that, Hansen also finds a black crystal. And this black crystal was not just some ordinary black crystal. It was the reason why the black beetle turned into a sacred beast. Hansen didn't know that originally, but as he goes back to his house, he's very curious about this beetle because finding a sacred blood creature inside of this place that he was at is not common at all. Where he was at was straight ordinary creatures, okay? So he takes the crystal back home. He takes the rest of the beetle after he's eat all the meat. He gains about 7 sacred geno points, which is a lot out of 100. So he goes back home, he boils it up, and then he also has a creature that he has at the house. And he's so curious about this black crystal that he's like, let me experiment. So he has the creature eat the black crystal and he waits. He actually sits there for 24 hours until the broth is done. And then he sees something strange. The creature starts to try and attack him through and break the cage. So he runs over to the creature, kills the creature. And once he kills it, he's prompted another message in his head that he killed a primitive creature. Now Hansen is shocked because this was an ordinary creature. Now it's saying it's a primitive creature. So once he kills that and eats the meat, he takes out the black crystal and he's so in love because this is what Hansen needed. He needed something to help him to be able to get stronger so he can start fighting different creatures. Because at first he couldn't even take on a primitive creature or a mutant creature. He stood no chance. But now with this crystal, he might have a chance at surviving in the first God sanctuary. But on the other hand, every single person in Steel Shelter hates him because of one incident that he did. And he developed the nickname Ass Freak, and which is the funniest nickname there is. And the reason why that is because when Hansen first got to Steel Center, when the first time he got to First God, he didn't know that people can get beast souls and these beast souls allow you to transform. So one of the girls, which is the strongest girl in all of the place that they're at the Steel Shelter, he walks up to her while she's in her werewolf state, not knowing that she's not a creature, and he literally stabs her in the butt. And she turns around and she's just furious because she's like, what are you even doing? Now everybody is literally naming him Ass Freak. And then she proclaims that if anybody associates himself with Hansen, I'm killing him on sight. So now nobody can mess with Hansen and not even mess with him as far as she's protecting him. He can't get help with anything. And knowing how dangerous this place is, having to do everything on your own, you're pretty much going to commit suicide because there is a lot of strong things. Sometimes they could be multiple strong things, or sometimes that one thing can just be way stronger than you. There's pretty much nothing you could do. But on the bright side is no monsters can actually attack them while they're out their shelter. So that's one plus about everything else. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys in this review today. If you guys want to listen to the actual light novel that I read, the link is in the description, and I also just posted the video, so you guys can check that out first, then come back to my review so you guys can match it up and we can just talk about it some more. And if you guys have any more questions in the comment section, make sure you guys let me know in the comment section below. Yeah, I know I always respond to comments. And make sure you go to the link in the description. Shout out to WebNovel. The link is in the description if you want to read Super Gene on your own. And also, if you have a phone that you like to read stuff on, iOS, Android, both of the links to those are in the description below. So make sure you guys go ahead and check out that. That's all I got for you guys in today's video. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.